I decided to add 4 more mistakes that we normally make on Upwork that leads us to not become successful as we're supposed to be. I have seen freelancers that are very, very talented. They are smart, they know what they are doing, they are intelligent, they are technically competent. But just because of silly mistakes, funny mistakes that they make, it normally hurts them and it hurts their account. And I hate to see this. In as much as I talk about what you need to do to be successful, I also want to talk about those things really that you need to avoid that can hurt your account. This is day 10 of the mentorship program, but I want to also add things that you need to avoid that can hurt your account on Upwork. I normally organize these mistakes by order of importance. So the last one is normally the most important one, and I do go into details because I want to make sure you understand how important it is for you to take that mistake very serious so that you will not make it and it will not hurt your career on Upwork. The first one is overcommitting and overpromising. Now, I have seen a lot of freelancers who, even in their proposals, they start overcommitting, right? They start overpromising. Any job, anything that the client says, they are willing to do it. You are not there to beg the clients, okay? You are providing a service to the clients. And if you are providing the service to the client, you need to be paid for that service. Don't go and overpromise and then you underdeliver. That is a big mistake that most people do. For instance, they will say, oh yes, I will do it. I will build your website in a week. A website that is probably how many pages? Maybe 20 pages or 30 pages you want to go and build in a week. How do you do that? That's sometimes, if the client is a technical person, they will know that that is BS. That is total BS. Like, you cannot build a website like that in 1 week. So they will know that you're lying. People overpromise in their proposal. They put things there that they don't even know how to do. They don't even know how to get through them. And that is what leads them to disappear. When the clients start demanding those things, that you need to provide these things, you said you are going to do these things, now provide them, then they disappear. They are nowhere to be found. Don't do that. All right. Now, what I normally do is to underpromise. Underpromise in a very technical and very creative way. Even if I know I am going to deliver this work, for instance, I'm going to deliver this work within a week, I would say I will try and deliver this maybe in 1 or 2 weeks. I will not say exactly a week. I will say in 1 or 2 weeks, maybe a little over a week. Do you see the way I put it? Maybe a little over a week. So if I am unable to deliver that work within a week, the client will still understand that I said maybe a little over a week. They know that I did not say a week. I can defend myself. I'll be able to provide reasons why I need more time. But if I can deliver it within a week, I will still say a little over a week, and then I deliver less than a week. The client will be more pleased. You have underpromised and then you over-delivered. You don't have to be like trying to praise yourself or trying to exaggerate the work that you are doing just to please the client, and then at the end of the day, you are not able to deliver. That can hurt you because the client will see you as incompetent. You've raised the expectations of the client, and then at the end of the day, you are not able to meet those expectations. Let's face it, reality is chaotic. So if you go and overpromise, overcommit, and then at the end of the day, you are not able to meet those demands, that is your problem. Sometimes you think a task is very simple, but in reality, it is much more than that. Always create room. Say, let me figure it out. Let me take a look at it, and then I'll get back to you. They'll say, oh yes, yes, I'll do it. You know, some people have that attitude, just answering without thinking. This is critical. It can hurt you because when you start failing those deadlines, when you start missing, when you start disappearing, the client will know that you are nothing but a BS, somebody who is not reliable. You are not a reliable person, and that can hurt you a lot. Now, let's go to the next. Failing to protect your payment. What does that mean? It means you need to have an offer before you work. Somebody can send you an offer without omitting funds. You need to see that the funds have been activated. They must activate the milestones, especially for milestones for fixed contracts. They must activate the milestone of that particular work that you are supposed to do. They can fund the milestone and activate it. It means when they said activate it, it means that Upwork has taken the money from the client's account and now it is now in the Upwork account. When you finish the work, Upwork will now decide to pay you. So it is no longer the client. The client is only responsible to click on the button to say pay. If they don't do it, you can report to Upwork and Upwork will check the work and then transfer the money to you. So you have to make sure that is clear. That's why I said look at Upwork policies on this area. Read and understand how this works so that you understand how to protect yourself. Don't be in a rush. Most people have been duped or scammed on the platform where somebody sent a job to them because they are so in a hurry, they go and do the work and submit the work. At the end of the day, they are not paid. Don't be a victim of that. I don't want any of you guys to be a victim of that. Make sure you always have a contract and an offer and the funds are activated. You will see it on your dashboard that these funds have been activated. What it means is that the funds have been moved from the client's credit card to Upwork's platform. Moving on to the next, ignoring clients' requirements. This is directly tied down to the first mistake, which is most times people overpromise. When you overpromise, what happens is that you tend to ignore the client's requirements because the client will now develop expectations. And then they give you certain requirement that these and these are the things that you need to do. They give you a task, they tell you exactly what needs to be done. You start ignoring them. You pretend as if you don't see them. That is a mistake. It will hurt you. What do you do in this case? If that is happening to you and you know that maybe you don't have the skill set or you are not competent enough or you are not experienced enough to do the work according to what the client is asking, simply let the client know that you are not clear about the job and you don't know how to go about doing that particular work. If they can provide you with some guidance, you'll be able to see what you can do, right? Then have a call. Some clients are generous enough. They will be very polite and they will be willing to show you, explain to you what is really happening. They will be really polite and willing to show you what you need to do so they can do it. If you know that there is something that you are unable to do or you are not sure about, make sure you let the client know. Don't ignore it. Don't pretend as if you know and then you are not doing what the client is asking. Ignoring the client's requirements is a serious mistake that most people do. Clients will think that you are incompetent or you are not detail oriented and then they can terminate your contract. So don't do that. So the last but not the least, which is the most important one, is neglecting professionalism. Now, neglecting professionalism is not the same as not being professional. Not being professional means that you are not professional. Maybe you are just somebody who does not have professionalism in yourself. You don't know how to behave in a professional way. What are some of these behaviors? For instance, showing up in meetings on time. You are there on time. Most people, they are late to meetings. Most people don't accept meeting invites. Most people, they don't care when the clients send them a message. The message will stand there. They will see it. They will just want to finish something before they respond to a message. That is seen as unprofessional. It's an unprofessional attitude towards you. Like that's how the client will see it. They will see it as if you are not a professional person. Now, neglecting professionalism, what it really means is that maybe at the beginning of the contract or at the beginning of the job, you are really into this job and you are there, you are doing everything you can. You respond promptly, you communicate well, you are very interactive, you are warm. People enjoy working with you. But then as you start getting this money and everything, you start getting your paychecks, you are enjoying the cash, then you start neglecting. You start coming to meeting late. You respond very late to messages. You are very sluggish. You disappear for a day or two and then show up. That is neglecting your professionalism. And guess what? When you start to neglect those things, the client will notice. They will know that you are no longer warm. You are no longer there. You are not present. Maybe your attention is somewhere else. Maybe you are doing something else. So most times you tend to be vague when saying things. You are not assertive. You are not sure about what you are saying. The client will know that your attention is no longer on the job. And that's what makes they will terminate your contract and then find someone else who is more interested in the job. This normally happens when a freelancer has another job. Maybe they got this first job and they are dedicated in it and then they continue to apply, then they find another job. Most freelancers don't know how to manage two jobs because they are not competent enough to do this kind of thing, to manage two jobs. What will happen is their attention on one of the jobs will drop. So they are just like vague. They don't know how to balance their time or manage their time. So they become unprofessional. They start missing meetings. They don't accept meeting invites. They kind of tend to be shallow in their explanation or their reporting and so on. So when you neglect your work like that, the client will figure it out and then they will terminate your contract. And when they terminate your contract, sometimes they provide a very nasty feedback for you, which is not good for you. And also they provide a rating that is very low, which can affect your job success score. Guys, there you have it. See you on the next one.